So I'm heading up to the Poconos tomorrow. Going to be staying at a campground on Otter Lake. Now this looks like a typical standard lake. It's probably got bass and panfish in it. So I wanted to come up with a fun, funky little pattern that I can take out there and chase some of these bass with. So I came up with this hairwing about 15 minutes ago, and why I think this might work for bass is, well, it's got a white body and then a red and black wing. Now I know I could have gone with a bucktail for the wing, both red and black, but where would the fun in that be? So I'm going with an Arctic fox for the red part, and then the topping, I'm going to use black bear. And since we haven't done a Name the Fly contest on the channel in a while, let's do that with this one. Now, if you're new here, how that works, just watch the video and then leave a comment with what you think we should call this thing. I'll pick 4 of them and put it out there for a vote, and then I'll send the winner a $50 gift card to Jay Stockard. But do note that as I record this, it's Friday. I'm leaving for the Poconos tomorrow morning. The video is going to be published on Wednesday, so if you are watching it the day it's published, I will still be out there in the Poconos. So I might not be able to respond to the comments right away, but I promise you I will get to them when I get back in town. So that's it. I think this is a fun little pattern, and I can't wait to hear what funky names y'all come up with for it. So there it is in the vise, the as yet to be named Funky Fox Bear Streamer. All right, I'm tying this on a size 6. This is a 3X long barbless streamer hook. And I am going to weight it. Now, I don't plan on fishing this thing deep. I want to fish it like a little bait fish pattern, probably pretty fast. But I also want it to have a little bit of funky action in the water. So sometimes you can get that by putting weight either at the front or the back. Now, when you put it in the back, sometimes you mess up your body. But putting it in the front, we can do that and make it look fairly natural. So that's what, I don't know, 10 wraps or so right there of an 020 weight. And we can leave it pretty close to the front because I'm not putting a whole lot by way of wing. Now I'm going to use some red thread, and I have stepped this up to a 140 denier. So I'll put a little dam behind it and then take a few wraps over it, dam it up front. Now I did want some kind of flash with this, and I thought about going with a crystal flash under the wing, but sometimes when I do that, I get a little carried away and put too much and overpower it. And it doesn't take much crystal flash under a wing to really give it some flash. So I decided to just rib it with a little bit of just a silver tinsel. And I want a white body because a lot of bait fish do have white bodies. This is an acrylic yarn. It's a 3-strand, but I'm going to catch it in full strength. One I had in the vise that you saw in the vise at the beginning of the tie was 3 strands, and it was a fairly thick body, but it's kind of what I'm going for. Okay, so if you wanted a thin body, yeah, split this yarn and just wrap 1 or 2 strands up, but I want it a little bit thicker, so go ahead and wrap this up to the front where our thread is. Okay, that should do it. Let's catch this off. And now I'm going to counter wrap this rib. Really the only reason is I don't want it to slide into any of the grooves that I might have created when wrapping that yarn body. Probably wouldn't have, but yeah, counter wrapping it is just as easy. All right, let's catch this off. And now, I'm gonna go with some Arctic Fox dyed red. This is pretty neat, and it's called a wing fur. And I think it does make some pretty neat wings. This is a pretty small tuft right here. Now I can catch it in right there. That might be a little bit long. What I'm gonna do is lick my fingers and then just try to thin it a little bit, make it a little easier to tie on. So if I can lick my fingers and then just kind of pull it together. I want it a little bit longer than the bend of the hook, but not that. Maybe that right there. I think that will work. So spin this thread clockwise, cord it up a little bit, do a little pinch wrap right there. I don't want it spinning off to the side. So let's go back. Right, well, let's see. That's spinning a little bit on me. I'm kind of making a mess of this thing, but yeah, we're gonna be fine. We'll recover from that. Now, before I catch in the black topping, I've got a little bit of a mess right there, so I'm gonna just try to build up some thread wraps so that this black bear in a second will not be propped way up. Okay, that's a real funky looking head, but we'll be just fine. So next component, yeah, this black bear right here. And I'm not necessarily going with a huge tuft of it. And I'm certainly not gonna try to stack it, but I do want it to be maybe just a little bit longer than that red, but not a whole lot longer. So let's try right there. Again, gonna spin this thread clockwise, try to cord it up. Do a little pinch wrap right there. Several wraps till I get it caught in and make this head not look so unwieldy, which it is a little bit unwieldy there, but yeah. So be it, this is a fishing fly. Let's just cut that off as short as we can get it. And now this is why I'm going with a thicker thread, so I can just build up a big streamer head right here. We'll go back right behind the eye and then ramp it up and get a big, pretty big head here. Okay, that's definitely a big head, but I kind of want a big head, and I'm going to put a big drop of UV resin on it to make it hard and shiny. So let's see how this is going to turn out. Just got my little applicator bottle here. I'm going to put a big drop and then just kind of spread it around. Now if you've got a vise where you can spin it around quickly, sometimes that helps smooth out your head. Put the torch on it for 10 or 15 seconds. So there we go. Kind of a nifty little streamer, certainly a fun one to tie. Can't wait to get out there and give it a shot. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.